Has the Justin Fields era in Chicago officially begun?
Yes, it has. Bears fans, honestly, whole NFL get put on notice for this one. And I say this because the Justin Fields era is here and it is here to stay. Now, it is the worst thing that could have happened to Matt Nagy because Matt Nagy lost his ace in the hole in Justin Fields. However, Justin Fields' era beginning is the best thing that could happen to the Chicago Bears.
Let's go.
Because finally you are putting in a quarterback who can take you where you want to go. I'll start like this. If you are a Bears fan and you go to sleep with Mitch Trubisky as your quarterback and you wake up and you see Andy Dalton, you want back to sleep. But then you wake up and you see Justin Fields. Oh, I'm wide awake. Now you up and you ready. You do not want to go back to sleep, wake up, and see Andy Dalton again because that will be your last sleep. The Bears are now in a position where they've awoken themselves and seen Justin Fields. This is a great position to be in. I'm not saying Justin Fields is going to be a top 5, top 10 quarterback on Sunday. No. But we know Justin Fields has top 5 and top 10 potential sooner than later. So while Justin Fields starting is the worst thing for Matt Nagy, I fully think it's the best thing for the Chicago Bears because now Justin Fields will start to learn, he'll start to grow, he'll start to mature, and you will see the exponential growth down the line. Might be a couple months, might be a couple days, might be a couple years, but it's going to come sooner than later.
I am totally disagreeing with you right now. The era hasn't officially begun. You know why? Because after Andy Dalton was injured and after Justin Fields was named the starter, they still said Andy Dalton will be the starter when he's healthy. Why would you dig yourself a deeper ditch if you know you're really trying to transition to Justin Fields? That you need to respect. Let's respect even more that this is not good for Justin Fields. Let's talk about who Justin Fields is right now. Number 11 pick overall, so everyone's sitting there saying, put him in. Why? Because he's better than Andy Dalton. You're right. But think about this. Step back away from this realization and understand if he's more talented, he has a better projection in production, he is the greater investment as a number 11 pick, and he still wasn't the starter? Oh, something's going on that the eyes can't see. Let's talk about what that is. Whether it's understanding, a gentleman's handshake, a silent or overt agreement from upstairs to Andy Dalton. Whatever it is, there's something at play more so than just who's the better player. Let's talk about what Mark Sanchez said up here yesterday in terms of them trying to mirror and parallel what happened in Kansas City with Alex Smith and that transition to Patrick Mahomes. Now, neither one of these guys are those guys, but still the example stands. But here's the greater point. Outside of all them points I already made, I don't even know if I need to do another one. Case dismissed. You know what I'm saying? We up in small claims court now with your. Let's talk about a 53% passer in Justin Fields. It's only been a few plays, right? Let's talk about all he has right now on the highlight reel for confidence is a third down scramble. All right. Let's talk about how they're really looking at this situation from a global perspective. You ready to go through this, or you want me to wait till lap 2? Because I can see you right now. You trying to get back in court. There have been 27 first-round quarterbacks since 2000. I love to use 2000 because that's when you finally came of age and at least start watching football without your daddy always saying, come here, boy. All right. So there have been 27 first-round quarterbacks made 12 or more starts in their rookie season. 15, to be exact, have had career losing records. Little bit of a crapshoot. Actually, it's worse than good. Let's talk about did it work out for these guys? And these guys were picked higher than him, including number 1 overall, David Carr, Joey Harrington, Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert, Josh Rosen, etc. Winning or losing record, Blaine Gabbert. Let's just get through this. Blake Bortles, Brandon Wheaton, Daniel Jones, David Carr, Joey Harrington, Josh Rosen, Marcus Mariota. Oh, damn. That was a talent. Sam Bradford. Golly, your boy. Byron Leftwich, my dog. Got his ring finally, but still losing record. Jameis Winston? Really? Justin Herbert. So far, losing record, even though you're a beast. Kyler Murray. Damn, Kyler Murray ain't got a winning record yet. RG3 and Sam Darnold. All I'm saying
What you saying?
Bruh, it shouldn't be the Justin Fields era. And according to Matt Nagy, it's not.
Let me call Marcellus Wiley out, because what y'all unfortunately don't get to see at home, because y'all aren't sitting at the desk 6 feet away.
Is my flat stomach now like, oh.
That is there. But y'all also don't get to hear the lies that come between his teeth. And not necessarily lies, but omissions of truth.
Okay.
See, Sel, what we have to take a time to pause and assess is there's an inverse correlation between where you're drafted and the level of talent on the team you go to. Because the higher you're drafted, the less talented of a team you go to.
That's true.
Jameis Winston gets drafted number 1. His team is not very good in the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield gets drafted number 1. His team is not good in the Browns. But Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, who are the best quarterbacks currently of their draft classes, they actually got drafted later.
Okay.
Hence why they have so much more, a part of the reason they have so much more success. Justin Fields got drafted later than Zach Wilson, later than Trevor Lawrence. You all will see him succeed sooner. But I'm glad you brought up my dog, Mark Sanchez. Because Mark Sanchez, as we know, he was a top 5 pick. He was a 5th.
Stop saying he was top 5. All right, I was a top 52 pick. I was 52, dog. It's okay.
But here's what we know.
Yes.
Sanchez was thrust into a starting lineup probably prematurely. But what you look at from what happened in his first year, and I believe we have the full screen, you then end up seeing his second year and the dividends that it paid. Because the second year, completion percentage higher. Second year, touchdown interception ratio better. Second year, passing yards per game significantly better. And because he started his first year, now you see his second year, he goes from being 8-7 as a starter to 11-5 as a starter. Bears fans, the point I'm trying to make is you might not see Justin Fields pay his dividends just yet. NFL, you might not see Justin Fields ball immediately. But just like Mark Sanchez went through his first year and he struggled, that paid dividends later on. I am not going to rob, nor do I want to, like Matt Nagy, rob Justin Fields of his growth. I'm going to give Justin Fields the opportunity to learn, give Justin Fields the opportunity to grow. Last thing I'll say on this lap.
You better.
I don't recommend doing that for all quarterbacks.
Okay.
Zach Wilson took a beating. He doesn't really have a backup quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, unfortunately, you were the number 1 overall pick. You're going to have to, and you took a beating. But Justin Fields, he has a life raft. The Chicago Bears defense, Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, Eddie Jackson. So while Justin Fields can go out there and throw an interception like he did against the Bengals, they still win. He doesn't have to deal with his name getting tarnished in the headlines. He doesn't have to deal with the mental, emotional, physical accumulation of losses like Zach Wilson, like Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has not lost 2 regular season games since middle school.
I heard. Flag football, huh?
Since middle school. Zach Wilson threw 3 interceptions his entire last year at BYU. He threw 4 on Sunday. So Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are accumulating mental, physical, emotional damage that Justin Fields is incubated from because of his Bears defense. It is imperative the Justin Fields era begins and we don't turn back.
Strong arguments. We're going to open up the courtroom again, let the jurors back in. It's going to be quick, y'all. But settle in. Here's the thing. You brought up inverse correlation. Absolutely correct. But you also brought up some examples that don't support inverse correlation. Basically, you get penalized when you get the best players because your team is not that good. I get it. But you get the reward of the better player, but the penalty is you're on this sorry team. Except if you're Mark Sanchez, who wasn't on the sorry team, who had a winning record his first year, and certainly after that, AFC Championship game. You brought up that example. And also Andrew Luck. Good Lord. Now, that's cooking the books and logic a little bit because, damn it, Peyton Manning leaves and that team was well dressed up. But they had a bad record in position to get Andrew Luck. I digress. Okay. I'm going to attack this argument differently because obviously with your glasses on, things are flipping. Things are not going the right way. I gave you a list of guys who had career losing records and they were thrust into action. And that didn't move you and sway you. It swayed the courtroom, but not you. Okay, I see you sitting there still. So now let me flip it. Tell me if this makes sense. Maybe the Justin Fields era shouldn't start right now because the great quarterbacks didn't play early. Let's go. Tom Brady in his first year, how many pass attempts do you think he had?
Maybe 18.
Oh, man, I'll give you 3. How many starts did he have in his rookie year? Yeah, that means none. Yeah, he didn't. Drew Brees, who was, first on the all-time passing list, my teammate, my dog, 2001, when they brought me in 2 limos, you know what I'm saying, one for the left leg, one for the right, just riding on my chariots. I was a Charger. I saw Drew Brees play in 1 game. I saw him complete 15 or 27 throws in the entire season. He's first on the all-time passing list. You ain't got to run that marathon so fast in the beginning, young man. What about my dog, Aaron Rodgers? How many passes he throw as a rookie? 16 total. Patrick Mahomes started one game in 2017. Point being, if you look at the top of great quarterbacks in our league, that includes the GOAT, that includes the number one passing leader all time, that includes Aaron Rodgers, who's the most talented quarterback all time, and then Patrick Mahomes, who's the new mini baby GOAT. None of these dudes were starting eras in week 3. But now we're going to start one for Justin Fields. Are you going to sit here and tell me in the courtroom that he's better than those guys?
No, but here's what I am going to tell you. I'm going to present to you a situation that is irreconcilable, if you will. So, it's not Matt Nagy's fault he's starting Justin Fields, but what's the Pringle slogan? Once you pop, the fun don't stop. It's what it is. Okay. And it's kind of, and I told you, whenever I have alcohol analogies, I have to solicit other opinions greater than I, because your boy ain't drink.
I'm about to say.
But as I solicit my opinions, I've found out and I've realized champagne, when you pop that bottle, ain't no recorking it. Recork it if you want to.
Well, go to Bevmo. They got the hookup now.
But sure, if you want to, but it ain't going to hit the same.
It ain't going to hit the same.
It ain't going to hit the same. So, right. After you've already popped the figurative bottle, which is allowing Justin Fields to go out and start, ain't no recorking him, Coach.
Really?
Really, why? Because if you go out and you start Justin Fields and then you bench him, all of a sudden, Bears fans are going to be like, he's not that good.
Oh, they're the coaches now.
I'm simply saying, everybody, you're going to rob Justin Fields of his greatness. So, personalize it for you, big dog. Let me personalize.
Yeah, because that alcohol ain't you.
MJ6, he just turned 6.
MJ just turned 6.
My dog, MJ.
Hey,
okay. I like MJ.
We can end this co-host killer because we can end this show right now. You don't talk about my son.
Now, look.
What?
Here's what I know. When did MJ start walking?
When he started walking?
1.5. 1.
He came out the womb ready. I don't know. One. Like almost 1.
Here's what I know. When MJ started walking at 11, 12 months old, maybe 10 and a half months old, you did not see him fall and then say, you know what? I'm giving up all hope. You ain't never going to walk or run. You done. You just fell. I'm done with you, MJ. Next starter, please.
Next starter.
What you did was, hey, big dog, I know you just fell, but eventually you're going to be able to run.
Yeah.
If you bench Justin Fields after he falls for Andy Dalton, that would be the equivalent of giving up on MJ, the future athletic and intellectual prodigy, because he fell one time, Sal. Don't give up on, and you wouldn't give up on your son after one trip and fall. Don't give up on Justin Fields after one trip and fall. Let him fall, let him get up. Let him fall, let him get up. Let him open up his stride. Justin Fields will fall. But Justin Fields will get up, and he will begin to open up his stride. You have to let Justin Fields remain the starter, because if you pull him prematurely, then we will forever be like, you can't never run. You can't never walk, and we would give up far too soon.
Boy, you do the best in the worst situations. When I know I got you on the ropes and they say, throw in the towel, you know what you do? You throw in the MJ take. And I get clouded with love and I just can't see straight. But I gotta recover, Coach. I got a couple notes left here. I can't let you win off of pulling my heartstrings on my favorite thing in this world. Sorry, other kids, but real is real. I hear that. I do hear that. Let me be real about this. The only way that Justin Fields' era will continue is if he wins or he shines in losing. Like, all right, if he wins and he looks pedestrian, he looks normal, he keeps up what he's been doing so far in these little sample sizes, please put him back. You know why? I'm looking at Carson Palmer. I ain't even mentioned him. Carson Palmer, first pick, 2003 draft, didn't play a lick till 2004. Yo, there are some dividends, as we talked about yesterday, just watching the game unfold in front of you, getting the mental reps, just making sure, oh, okay, this is how they hitting today. It's okay to say that this is how they hitting this year, because Brady, Breeze, Palmer, Rodgers, Mahomes all basically sat and watched it come to them instead of racing to it. My last point is this, simple. Did you see what happened in San Francisco week 1? Trey Lance got some reps. You see what happened in San Francisco week 2? Anybody? Jimmy G up there playing chess. Andy Dalton gonna play a little chess too if this thing tries to get started.